Hey, Kentucky, welcome back. Time to talk some more topics now. And I'm happy to be joined by Hey Kentucky contributor Maggie Davis. Sounds better than intern, doesn't it, Maggie?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Thanks.
All right, welcome back. Let's get to it. First up, UK plans to extend President Dr. Eli Capilouto's contract, including a pay cut next year. In an email to the university, the board says Capilouto is excited to re-sign and they will be working over the next month on that contract extension. Capilouto told the board he wants to take a 10% pay cut this coming year and that money instead go to a UK employee assistance fund. And Maggie, it was a couple weeks, maybe even a month ago, where people were kind of calling on Dr. Capilouto to take this pay cut. But so here he is. Contract will be re-signed with a pay cut.
Yes, and I think this is definitely the right call. It's the right thing to do in this case. I'm glad he's taking that pay cut, and I'm glad it looks like UK is going to keep him around for a few more years. I think he's done a nice job here.
Yeah, I agree. And I especially saw on Twitter, all the coaches seemed to be really excited that he was staying.
Yes, it's a big Yahtzee.
Yes, a big Yahtzee. All right, support continues to pour in for the Kentucky cheerleading coaches who were fired this week over allegations of allowing athletes to get out of hand at off-campus events. Yesterday, UK cheerleading alumni sent out a joint statement in support of former head coach Jomo Thompson, assistant coaches Ben Head, Spencer Clan, and Kelsey LaCroix, along with longtime advisor T. Lynn Williamson. The statement was signed by over 500 cheer alumni. And Maggie, this is, I'm struggling with this because there seems to be so much support. Yet in the investigation, they did talk to, they said 60 people, some of them were cheerleaders that corroborated the story.
Yeah, and it is cool to see all the cheerleaders, especially all these alums, come together in this way and release this statement so we can sort of see their side of the story. But I just don't see how UK would be able to go back on this decision at this point. Do you?
No, not at all. Not at all. All right, the UK football program is on the radar of several national media outlets ahead of the upcoming season. Using a power ranking analytics system that factors in recruiting rankings, returning players, and market information, Pro Football Focus has created a way too early top 25 for 2020, and Kentucky makes the cut at number 20. Meanwhile, CBS Sports has ranked Mark Stoops as the number 22 college football coach in America. Pro Football Focus loves the Cats. Nobody else seems to, but I'm leaning more towards them than the others.
I love Pro Football Focus. They seem great to me, and I'm really glad to see Coach Stoops make this list as well. He definitely deserves it. I think for the last couple of seasons, but especially just last year, how he was able to rework that offense over and over and over again. It was a great coaching job. He deserves to be on that list.
Absolutely. All right. The U of L has announced that some of its student athletes can return to campus, and it's soon. Football players and men's and women's basketball players will be allowed back starting next Wednesday, followed by voluntary workouts on June 8th. The NCAA has not announced a decision on athletes in other sports. Louisville officials say they've worked on this phased-in return for weeks, and Maggie with the SEC saying that athletes can come back June 8th. I don't think that Louisville is doing this all on its own. Surely that they have worked with the governor and health officials in the state.
And if they were able to work with the governors and come up with this date, I feel like UK should be able to work out something similar, especially with the news of the SEC now on board.
Yep. All right, earning immediate eligibility has been taken off the table for college athletes next season. The one-time transfer waiver proposal that would have allowed them to transfer and become immediately eligible at new schools has been tabled until the 2021-22 academic year. For Kentucky, that means no immediate eligibility for men's basketball transfers Olivier Sarr and Jacob Toppin. UK Hoops transfers Jasmine Massengale and Robin Benton, and quarterback transfer Joey Gatewood, among others. But Maggie, Joey Gatewood and Olivier Sarr, they still have, some ways to plead their case to get immediate eligibility.
Right. They still have a chance. I don't know how good that chance is going to be, especially at this point. But part of that NCAA release did say it was going to try to be a little more lenient towards players who are being affected by COVID-19. Maybe that plays a role in it. Hopefully Olivier Sarr's former coach being fired plays a role in it. We'll see what happens. But I'm glad that they could eventually make these players immediately eligible, hopefully by next season.
I think for Olivier Sarr, I am optimistic. on that one because of the way Wake Forest handled the whole situation. All right, jockey Luis Saez has dropped his appeal of last year's Kentucky Derby disqualification and begun serving a 15-day suspension. The rider of maximum security was cited for careless riding during the final turn of the 2019 Derby, leading to a victory for Country House. The timing of the jockey's decision preserves his opportunity to ride in all the Triple Crown races, which have been shuffled around this year. And Maggie, he was the leader in mounts and the leader in wins last year. He does not want to miss the Triple Crown. He's just going to sit out the 2 weeks.
Right. He does not want to miss those races. It's a little convenient. His suspension is not going to affect those races at all. And I don't know about you, but that Derby feels like a million years ago. I'm so glad we can hopefully be done with this story and move on.
It does feel like a million years ago, and I keep forgetting Country House won. Poor Country House.
I know.
Never heard of him again. All right. Thank you, Maggie. Tonight's wrap-up is next as Hey Kentucky continues.